everyone, welcome to Brandon Woodworkers Club. Ready to build something awesome together?
The custom wall unit, we finished it up this morning for one of Rick's neighbors. So for those that don't know Rick, he does handyman work, but really exceptional trim molding, crown molding. He and I work together to do custom installs on cabinetry. And Caleb, can you show them what we did? Okay, can you make it more bigger? There you go.
There we go.
This started out with the gentleman's concept drawing, which I've seen cocktail napkin sketches better than this. But it was done in 5 sections. Base cabinet with double doors, center drawer cabinet, base cabinet double doors, shelving with glass doors on the top, both sides. And then this was particularly fun. We had to figure out how to get that arch, which was just a big long stick and a pivot point to find out what made the most sense to try to match his vision. But Rick did the install. The lighting and LED lighting is incredible now. You can control it with your phone, control the brightness and the warmth, the color, temperature, they call it. So, had the nicest compliment I've ever had. When you were going, he didn't want you to hear this. He came to me and he said, this is a very talented, very nice unit, and he thanked us for putting it in his home. So that was our day ending this morning. So give it up for Rick right here. And Rick gets the ticket because he's not.
Oh, good.
You get a ticket. All right, who's on? Who's next? Jeff?
Cliff, you're on deck.
Thanks.
This is a 11.5-foot long black walnut or black limba dining table, 50-inch wide. There's 38 dominoes in it holding it together. There's 2 slabs and then a center section. Each slab was 21-inch wide, and then the center section was 8-inch. So a total of 50-inch wide, 11.5-foot long. This is the second table I built for this client. The first one, the wife got it in the divorce. So he came in and said he wanted another one. Hers was 10.5. He wanted it a foot longer, and hers was 40-inch wide. He wanted his 50-inch wide.
So apparently she didn't get all that.
And he's got to get some new chairs to go with it. He chose the flowy line design legs, 1 on each end, and then 2 in the middle. And then there was the way the legs are shaped. There was a hollow part in the center when you put the legs back to back. So he had me build an insert to go between the 2 legs. And 15 hours. And this is part of the second one. And I gave up on this one and started at a third. So this is also black limba. And I had to glue blocks together because there's curves this way. Then the back has many different curves on it. So this one I cut just a little bit too much out in here with the bandsaw, and it didn't look right, so started over on the third one.
That could be the candy bowl right there.
Yeah.
Ice cream
That's
scoop.
showing the legs, and it looks like a tree trunk with 3 branches. With it being so wide, I used 1/2-inch plate, 3-inch wide, and inset the plate in the tabletop on the bottom. Used threaded inserts to attach it, and I just had it finger tight, not real tight, so that it can still move. And the holes where the bolts were slotted. So, it can have some movement. And then that's a second black limba dining table I made in the last month. Wow. This one was for my niece, and it was 60-inch long and 34-inch wide. So pass the pictures around.
Nice job.
Ward, you're on deck.
All right, hello everybody. My name's Cliff, and this is my first major project. I've been at this for about 6 or 7 months now. This is my knockdown pine workbench. It's after little tchotchkes I built around the house. Figured, okay, I should have an actual woodworking bench so I can, use that as a jump-off point. It's made almost entirely out of pine and built so that you can knock it down without any actual hardware. It's just a mallet. So laminated pine top with a 1x4 pine tool tray in the back that can be flipped over to be used as an extended work surface. This is all secured in place using blocking to hold it to the legs, which are also laminated pine 2x4 with dovetailed shallow laps with bears and bracers to hold that all into trestles. Stretchers made out of 2x12 southern yellow pine with through tenons running through mortises in the trestles, and those are secured in place with tapered oak dowels. And got dog holes for days, all kinds of work holding. And I've got a face vise, tail vise, and I'm still trying to figure out what to do for a finish. It's caught between boiled linseed oil and Danish oil. But yeah, that's my baby.
Folks, for
what it's worth, if you haven't paid attention, just
Richard,
for the
you're on
last
deck.
3, with the video capabilities we have now, you can send pictures in of large stuff that's too big to bring in, and we can present it for show and tell, just like we just did here. So keep that in mind.
yeah, so for Easter, I got tasked with making a bunch of bunny rabbits. I used a lot of birch. I laminated a bunch of birch pieces together and cut a bunch of those out. My wife had time to make those into a Mod Podge. She actually glued on this napkin and then created a gold boundary around it just on the laminated birch. So it came out really nice. The rabbits came out really cool for Easter. And it was she picked these up at Hobby Lobby or something like that. And that was her whole project. I was like, that's crazy. So I left these ones clean for next year. So we'll have a little project next year to dress these up. So this one is an old walnut countertop that I use for my desk too. So this is desk material now, drawer material, and now rabbits. So yeah, this is my.
They multiply.
Yeah, they do multiply. Yeah, out of everything. So that's what they got. Thank you.
Jim, you're on deck.
I've made a lot of different pieces that I've shown you, but I think this is probably the most important one, and it's a pen. But I got a hold of 2 other veterans who reclaimed wood throughout the entire world, old wood. And what they wound up reclaiming was the first building liberated in the Battle of Normandy. This building was 232 years old, and the beams were elm wood. And I was able to get some small pieces of this elm wood. I had to subject it to a resin process where I infused resin into the wood because the wood was not in good shape. And so I've fashioned this particular pen. If you look at it, you'll see that the wood is a little bit different from the wood that you've been used to seeing. I finished it in CA glue. And right now the wood is up for auction. We're auctioning it off for the benefit of Tunnel to Towers. So I hope it brings some good money, but that's the story of this pen.
Caleb, you're up next.
Oh, I'm sorry. I make ring boxes. I use
I use walnut center, and I cut them
Turn it
down.
so we can hear you.
Okay, I cut it down to 1/4-inch walnut strips, and then I cut them down. I try to use all hand tools when I can, and then I use Purple Heart for the tops and bottoms. And I took a bandsaw, glued it together, saw it off, and then glued that in there. And then I make on the lathe these honey stirs. I use some ambrosia maple. My mom stole the matching one. And then I've done some exotic woods. They sell the best out of all of them. My favorite is Purple Heart because the variations between the heat spots on the blade. And I also make napkin holders. This is one that needs more sanding, but I think this is going to be the prettiest one. The base is walnut. Again, 1/4-inch stripping is mahogany, and then the walls are walnut, mahogany, cherry, mahogany, walnut in that order. And I really like how that looked. Was going to use this for a guitar body, ended up scrapping the project and using that for something else. So you know how that goes, repurposing. So that's that.
You say you sell some of your stuff?
Yes, sir.
Where do you do that?
I got a page on Instagram, and I also go to small craft fairs and word by mouth.
Very good.
I brought two things in. I am building a guitar for my grandson. He's here from Australia. And I brought this in because it's a mistake. I broke it during the bending process. There's a crack right here, there's a crack right here, and there's a crack right here. So it's a good way to ruin about $200. But this is pretty good. This is a top. This is a bear claw Sitka spruce top. Join them together so you have the same grain on both sides, very narrow. We route out the areas for the 3 different inlays to go. They're not glued in right now, they're just stuck in there. It has to be a really accurate one. But on the back, we put the braces on, and then we have to scalp, cut them down, and make them work so that they vibrate really nicely. And then we'll cut this out. It'll be 4 inches when I do. And so anyway, that's what I'm working on right now.
Well,
Right.
this is the box that makes me not chop off my finger. Tom mostly built the electrical components on the inside to, if the power shuts down or cuts or anything like that, the breaker will trip inside and shut the power off to my machine. And then I built the ugly box, but it's functional, so it does the job. And then I built it so the top slides up and down, so if something needs worked on the inside, I can just pull it apart and fix that. My box.
How's the finger healing?
Fantastic.
Good.
Doesn't even look like I chopped it.
For those that missed that meeting, Caleb was in the middle of using his bandsaw, and the electric company voltage dipped, basically stopping the bandsaw right in the middle of pushing it, and then it came back on. And it grabbed it and, unexpectedly, and pulled his thumb into the blade.
You have instructions for those 2 buttons?
This one's off. That one's on.
Green is go and red is not go.
Yeah.
But in my work career, I was in electrical sales, and we represented a company called Allen Bradley, which is the leader in motor control. And that's a simple 3-wire control that if you think about an industrial plant that's got a conveyor and the power goes off, conveyor goes off, last thing they want, the power comes back on for that conveyor to start running again because no one's expecting that. And so the 3-wire control will just simply drop out the contactor when the power goes out, and it won't re-engage until someone hits the go button. So that's what that circuit does.
And then I built a zebra wood pen from some of Tom's wood that he gave me, and I want to give him to thank you for helping me build that box.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Rick, you're on deck.
I made some thin strips on my table saw, and they were too thick, and they were splines for a box I was building. So what I did was I made this little drum sander. Hooked my hand drill up here, made this out of 2x4 PVC pipe, a piece of Formica. Then I saw a video where they have a router that I can mount on here. So I made it so I could put my handheld router in here, adjust it up and down to wherever I want it, lock it in place, lock it down, and I can run my router in here. But that's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, this,
John, you're on deck.
This is a 12-inch bowl. That's as big as I can make on my jet lathe. It's aromatic red cedar. I don't remember which hurricane I salvaged it from. There's been so many lately. And then I let it dry out a little bit. But this bowl kind of designed itself. You can see I left some bark on the edge and the other edge. A lot of people in here would say you can't do that. The bark won't stay on there. Well, it's still on there, and so that was successful. And then when I hollowed the inside, I've got pieces of sapwood and then the heartwood here. It's finished with about 3 coats of shellac, and it's an experiment. I've done, rather than waiting for 4 coats of spar varnish to dry at 24 hours per coat, I just used shellac to start it and then put 1 or 2 coats of the spar varnish over top of it that way, so it's a lot faster. And then because it's probably a salad bowl, I put this peel and stick pad on the bottom, so if it's sitting on a counter or a table or whatever, it won't scratch that way. So anyway, that's my project.
Harry, you're on deck.
This project started off like a lot of your projects do. When my daughter called and said, "Daddy," she had some shelves. She wanted some way to hold things, so she asked me to make one for her. We had an ash forest in our backyard in Michigan, but after the emerald ash borer got through with it, I have 2,700 board feet of 5/4 lumber. So I took some sheets, cut them in half. Didn't want it to be too heavy, so I cut those in half, planed it down to about 1/4 inch. And then used the box jig from Rockler, and made it that way. I ended up cutting these down to cutting the ash wood down to about 1 1/4 inch slats and gluing them together, and then planed that down and put some pads on it so it slides nicely in the little those little cube storage things, and she was very, very pleased. I brought her 2. She said, "Daddy, I need 20 more."
You got the wood.
I've got the wood for it. So.
Ron, you're on deck.
This was just my little segmented bowl that I was playing with. With 12-sided, or 12 pieces in each ring, each segment. It's 6 different pieces of wood. There's purple heart, there's regular walnut, Paduke, maple, Peruvian walnut, and then I found something in the scrap bin that we believe is Kumaru, but we're not sure, or I'm not sure. But just a small little bowl. It's finished with Mylans. Nothing too crazy, nothing too special.
Excellent.
Here, can you write your last name on there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bruce, you're on deck next.
Yeah, I made a few EDCs. They are small pill boxes, all come apart. They're easily just twist apart. It's for your emergency 20. Whatever you need to put in there, you just throw it in your pocket, you know it's there, you know. And it's all done with just one piece of wood, and you just split it at this end here, do this side, and that's so all your grain matches up across the board. If it's off very little in that, and just use them just for, you know, about $8 or something, and just to come on, you know, to get people in.
Robert, you're on deck.
I set these here. This was raw wood. This is stabilized. You can feel the difference in weight. This basically is plasticized. I just got a gallon of cactus juice. So anybody that needs something, and I won't use it, it's good for 6 months. So I won't use that much, but if anybody needs anything stabilized, as long as you don't want colors added to it, I'll do it for you for just doing it. No charge. I just made a whole mess of these for a confirmation class. It's the Monarch Elite, and a series of crosses across the bottom, and it's Bethlehem olive wood. I've done that for I think 4 or 5 years. Wood Turnings just came out with a new baseball pen, and since my grandson is a minor league manager for Baltimore, and he was moved up from low A to high A this year, and given a big raise. He grabbed some of them before he took off for Maryland, but he said, what you don't get rid of, or what you don't want to give away, or don't give away, just send up to me and I'll get rid of them for you. And this is Buckeye Burl, as these two are. I stabilized this one. This I turned today. And this is some spalted oak that was originally given by Jeff to the president of the Polk County Wood Turners. And he taught me, he sold it there, he auctioned it off. I spent $15 for 5 sticks. I've got about 10 blanks out of it. Probably more than I'll use. Eventually I'll be giving some of it away. But that's it.
Carol?
Okay, in addition to the nice little segmented bowl that Harry just did, he's always bringing different projects in that he's playing with, different ones. And one of them was a miniature goblet with a captured ring, which I'll take this out in a second and show you. But it prompted me, I did the first one with a 3/4 inch skew. The whole thing's done with a skew. But it prompted me to make a couple of little mini skews, which make it much easier to deal with that level of detail. But at any rate, if I can do this without dropping it, there is our goblet.
Where's the video backup for that?
There's the captured ring.
It
So anyway, if anybody wants to see it, run that around.
Or wait for the newsletter close-up.
And that's it.
Trying to make it something we can see.
Hey, Jim, you're on deck. I have two little hand-carved rabbits. They're out of basswood, each one. They were carved with a 2-inch hog-out knife and a 1-inch detail knife, and then finished with linwood seed. They even have a tail on the back of each one, so, and a little heart carved in the front. So yeah, there you go. You're on deck. Jim?
Anybody?
Jim?
I got land.
I saw that.
This is the one, this is the one for my wayward nephew, but I'm gonna get it to him. He's in New Hampshire. See if somebody can identify what this center wood is. Had no idea. Picked it up somewhere. It's really, really cool, but I need to know before I send it to him.
Mystery wood.
Hardwood tree.
You know, the best thing I bought tonight was this shirt.
God, it's cold. Thinking we can bring in our wood and we can start a bonfire.
Oh, first thing, this goes to. Anyone need any wood for next month? Put your name down. It's free for those new members. Okay, made a bandsaw box. My friend asked me would I make his wife a bandsaw heart box, so made it out. It's made out of birch and, well, there's some cherry in here too, and walnut. So, and I put their names on it, Laurie and Chuck. Laurie loves Chuck. Okay, smile. I just brought some junk in. My grandchildren always comes over and wants a glass of iced tea, so I made them a bamboo straw. And it worked out, they work out real good. I boil them 4 times and then I serve them so they're food safe. When I was over at Cincinnati, they gave me about 5 or 6 of these small hubs. They said, what can you make out of them? I don't know, I'll give it a shot. So I went on chat, PGT.
GPT.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, and they did about 6 things, but they didn't do what I did. So I just made a bowl out of one. And if anybody wants to try one, next time I'll bring you one in. I never know when I'm going to get something like this. Sometimes I get big propellers. You've seen me make bowls out of big hubs and everything. So anyway, I made this today. I didn't finish it or anything like that. So I think that's it. Oh, no. My grandchildren, they came over and they said, Grandpa, I want to make a spoon. Okay, start. And they didn't use my pole gouge. They got up there and they did it and everything. So, and then I put in it, never trust a skinny cook. That's true. And this one, and I put the name on the back. That's Valentina. And she says, this salad tastes like I'd rather be fat. That's it. Have a good night. Oh, yeah.
Don't forget your little black book.
I know, but it goes right in this way.
You're the last one.
Right there.
Hi. So if you've been here in the Woodworking Club for maybe a decade or 2, you may remember the name Art Falcone. He was a good friend of mine, is a good friend of mine, and anyway, he's the one that got me into the Woodworking Club probably about 2003, back in the day. Anyway, so this piece is actually something that he and I did together, probably in 2005
2004, 2005. And one of the reasons that I'm bringing it in and for show and tell is because I would like feedback, not obviously right now, but it's made out of cherry wood that I brought back from the mountains of North Carolina. And it's so funny because if you know Art's work, he's just meticulous and his pieces are very museum-like. And this was not something that was within his scope of I mean, it was like just, let's slap this together, and he was just scratching his head going, okay, whatever. Anyway, so this bottom piece right here, the wood is slowly rotting and eroding, so it needs to be replaced. The other thing is that you see it's really wobbly, and if you know me, you know that I have cats, and my cats jump on this and they started to knock it over, so it needs help with stability. So if this is something that you're like, hey, I have a suggestion, please see me later on this evening or at the next meeting and just be like, I have an idea for you on what you can do in order to restore this, what is now a classical piece, or at least to me it is anyway. Thank you.
All right, that's it for show and tell.
Yes.
Thanks for watching the Brandon Woodworkers Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great content. Click next for another woodworking project.